Greetings to you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Truth plus love equals life. Here's a little quick tip I've learned that may help you. It's called setting a reasonable boundary. Oftentimes when people are talking to you, they have no concept that something bothers you. They often mean well. It goes like this. This is a boundary. Put your hands up. Because when you speak, other people are speaking, and let's say that it's when I talk about recycling. Somebody's bringing up something that happened 5 or 10 years ago. You're not upset. You weren't even thinking about it. They're upsetting you. They don't even know sometimes. Well, I'm sympathizing with you about the accident, the cancer, the whatever it is. You got cheated. Remember that DUI from 5? It was taken care of. There's no problem anymore. You know, you paid your restitution, whatever it is. Well, I know the breakup was hard. This is a boundary. Oh, when you do that, it's unambiguous to them. It's like putting up a stop sign. And if you set a reasonable boundary, you have a right to expect not to be punished for it or run away or I want to hang out with you. But that means you have to expect others' reasonable boundary. So if you're, what happened the other day? Did you go out with that guy? He wasn't very, no big deal. It's over. You're getting into them. We've all done this, even with the best of intentions. This is a boundary, and say this is a boundary. They don't get it. You can do this lightly first, and then when they don't get it, say, this is a boundary. You're upsetting me, or that's not an issue anymore. That ship has sailed. Everything's fine. And people will chew and feed. It's a super minor terrorism. Now, it's not, a bomb going off, but it's like 10,000 of these things in your life add up and drag you down as an energy drain. And we all have to work on being the other person. So if I'm like, hey, how was that play? How was that play? Did you get the part? She didn't get the part. She got cheated out of the part. Somebody got this. It was something. It's fine. They'll make more. Oh, it snaps you out of your blah, 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 blah. And we all do that. And you're slowly chewing on the person like a little gnat, like a little parasite. Now, we've all done that. I'm not suggesting you're a bad person because we all have to do that. Hey, it's not aggressive. You're not pushing them away. You're putting up a boundary saying, whoa, this is a boundary. That's none of your business. What happened a long time ago, or how I made my money, or what I plan to do with it, or what about starving kids in Africa because I drove a nice car? Whoa. None of your business. We all have something like that, and what you want to do in the flesh is lash out, stop harming me, it's not your business. Start out like this, gentle. And when someone gives you one of these, make a habit of it. It's because it's what happens is when people are speaking and thinking, they're using different parts of their brain, they're generally caring about you. How's that anorexia working out? Or how's the weight loss? By the way, here's another thing. Never ask somebody how much weight they've lost because you're now the scale. Because number one, it's none of your business. Number two, when they add it back on, you're going to make them feel bad about themselves. So they lost 50 pounds. How much weight did you lose? 40 pounds. How much weight did you lose? 30 pounds. You're fat again? See? And women, by and large, don't like to be asked their age. Other than ask how old they are, ask, how long have you lived? You're now a senior high-ranking black belt in the game of life. But only if it matters. A lot of small talk is just getting inside and getting inside and getting inside and you don't even really care. And we've all noticed people, if you look, it's like they're on an autopilot. It's a chatter, gossipy, chatter, gossipy, chatter, gossipy, chatter, gossipy. Whoa! This is a boundary. And while I'm at it, since I'm wearing the pink t-shirt today, there is this whole gender ridiculous thing going on. But the simple fact of the matter is, pink is the most dominant color because it is submission to the truth. And truth is outside of all the flesh senses. It's a feminine side called a receptive side. I got a black t-shirt or whatever, fine. It's initiative. If a woman wears a dark color, she's not aggressive and manly with a beard. She's initiative. She wears a pastel, it's receptive. I'll wear the same thing, okay? So this is something that I have noticed and had to work on in my life. Just because you're curious doesn't mean you should say things out loud. Doesn't mean you need to get into people. You're getting into them. You've got a little swarm. You can feel it. How is this and how is that and how is this and how is that and how is this and how is that and other people and other people and other people and whoa! This is the boundary. Everything's fine. There's no other people here but me and you. And when you're cool with me, you'll always get a cool. Unless you're some kind of monster, you got, I know you're a criminal. I've got to prophesy because you're a false prophet. Then it's confrontational. But if you come up to me with a warm greeting and a hug, Or not even a hug, just respectful. You'll never get anything negative from me. Most people, by and large, are like that. I'm just curious. How much did that car cost? How much did hey, you got a bunch of money. How many cars you have? How many homes you have? That's rude and will push wealth away. I don't ask now. I don't happen to be rich now, but I will be. I'll be the richest person in the world outside of Jesus because I'm the last who shall become first. But what I've had to learn is not only stop hating rich people because you're pushing money as an entity away from you. Jesus had money. You just don't worship it. Never ask somebody, how many cars do you have? How many homes do you have? How much does that cost? I'm just curious. That's like me saying, if you don't have a lot of money, and I don't happen to right now, but it doesn't matter because I'm not defined by my wealth. How many socks do you have? How many underwears do you have? How many shoes do you have? What do you have, like 3 pairs of shoes? Do you see how rude and off-putting that is? It's inherently judgmental. So that's an inner wealth teaching. Never ask them that because it's rude. It's inherently judgmental. You've got 14 homes? What about all the poor kids in Africa? There's going to be poor kids in Africa for a number of different reasons. There's poor kids here in America. There's poor kids all around the world. Wealth is not simply a question of need. There are people in the world who you could give $1 million to. They'll go right back to being poor. There wasn't a video a long time ago. You can look it up online. They gave a homeless guy $100,000. Guess what? Is anybody surprised? 6 months, he went right back to the gutter because he had whatever it was. Issues, toxicity, alcoholism. First thing he did was buy like a $45,000 truck. It's like with all the fixings and all the ups. Okay, this is not wise. We all have to learn these things. So these are things to look out for. Set a reasonable boundary. Don't ever ask somebody how much they weigh. Don't ask, especially women, how old they are. If it matters, may I ask how long you've lived? All right, I'm 63 years in the game. Look at you, black belt. How old are you? Super old. Nobody wants to hear that. I mean, I'm 42, which is fine. But these are things that just make life a little easier when you frame it in that context. This is the boundary. And they'll see it snaps them out of there, blah, 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 blah. And you want to be around those people, and you want people to be around you if they're just being cool. This is how to be cool. Thanks.